All right. Well, we are going to go ahead and get started. Thank you so much for everyone who is attending here and who's watching the replay. My name is Brooks Burnett from Remodel Reach Marketing. Today, we're going to go over a masterclass on Google local service ads. And so, our last webinar from last month, it was focusing on Google ads, Google search ads. And so this month we're going to talk about Google local service ads. So we're going to talk about how to set it up. We're really going to just talk about everything that there is to know about Google local service ads for remodeling contractors. And so we're just going to go ahead and just dive right in. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen with you guys, and we're just going to go ahead and get everything started here. All right, so let me make sure everything is good to go. Let's go ahead and start this. So as usual, if you have been to one of our webinars before, one of my webinars, I like to jump around a bunch of places. So I'm going to be, minimizing, then going back to other websites and web pages and different things like that. So do not be alarmed if I'm making all those adjustments. So this is the Google Ads Masterclass, Google Local Service Ads rather, Masterclass for 2024. Again, my name is Brooks Burnett, owner of Remodel Reach Marketing. We are a marketing agency specifically for remodeling contractors. And so what we're going to talk about today fits into a bigger marketing plan. So we're going to talk about this in detail a little bit later. But what we find in our agency and from working with home remodelers and speaking with remodeling contractors and only working with them is that remodeling is a very unique business. It's a very unique home service industry. Okay. And so the reason why that is because when it comes to lead generation, especially for home service providers, a lot of it is very quick, right? It's very quick. It's very, sometimes on an emergency base, right? If you're a tree care business, you might need leads that are, calling about a tree that fell down in their neighborhood or whatever, or plumber, emergency plumbing and things like that. But remodeling is different because a lot of the services that most remodelers provide, especially just residential design builders, their service is more of a want than a need, right? Some people obviously they need it, but to most of your clients, if you're a remodeling contractor, they just want a new kitchen, they want a new bathroom, and things like that. They want to update their home, whatever it may be. And so that plays into what we're going to talk about today, believe it or not. All right. So we have a full program here that you see here, and all these pieces really fit in together. And so you've got, building your authority of your remodeling business. You've got the lead preparation and follow up. How do you stay in touch with them? How do you make sure that you educate them about who you are and why they should work with you and why they should hire you? And then you have the lead generation portion of the whole plan. And so this would fall into what we're going to talk about today is going to fall into the unique lead generation. That's where the ads come in. That's where search engine optimization comes in. And, just anything that brings people to you, brings interested prospects to your doorstep, that is the lead generation portion of this program here. So moving on here. So what we're going to cover today, we're going to talk about what Google local service ads are. We're going to talk about where it's active. We're going to talk about how it works. We're going to cover everything. Okay. Everything that there is to know about Google local service ads, we're going to talk about today. All right. So why should you listen to me? Okay. Why, there's a bunch of different people out there who do local service ads or, who may talk about them, but why should you listen to me? Well, I have 6 years in marketing experience. That might not sound like a lot, but I'm only 29 years old. So, for a good portion of my life, I've been working in online marketing and digital marketing. And so, we specialize in, online marketing. Let me make sure everything's working here. Is everything working? Let me see here. Yep. Okay. Just testing everything. I get a little worried sometimes. But so we specialize in marketing only for remodeling contractors. And so, I niched down and, went from helping everybody to just helping remodeling contractors because I saw a need for very specialized help for remodeling contractors. And so we have an expert marketing team, and we work with remodeling contractors who are members of some of the associations, some of the big time associations in the remodeling industry, especially NARI. We're members of the Georgia chapter, the Atlanta chapter, and then the NAHB as well. Okay. And so, what even are Google local service ads? So, what are they? How do you find them? Where are they? Well, so when you go to Google, and this is just for replay purposes, if anyone wants the slides so we can see them, but it's a little bit more complicated than just this picture here. So, we're gonna open this up. We're going to open this up here. And so you can, I hope you all can see this. And so this is a breakdown, or this is just Google, rather. And so I just came in here and typed in kitchen remodeling near me. And so what you see here, what results that you see here, you see a bunch of results, right? If you were at my last webinar where we went over Google search ads, you can see here that they appear below the Google local service ads. So the way that you can find local service ads is they are always at the top. Okay, they have priority. The Google local service ads have priority, excuse me, over any other type of ad on Google, and you can always spot them by the green check mark. Okay, the green check mark that you see, and it says Google guaranteed. And so these are local service ads right here. Okay, and so now you can see really quickly here just something interesting about local service ads. They look very similar to your Google Maps listings. Okay, you can see just the structure of them, with the two buttons to the two take action buttons, and the reviews listed, and just the general information here. You can see they look very similar, and that's because essentially that's what they are. They're essentially local business listings that you pay Google to just put at the top of the page. Okay, so there's no real copywriting like you see here with the regular traditional PPC ads, like you see here. You really just you're getting a simplified ad. Okay, and jumping ahead here a little bit, the reason for that is because Google creates these ads. Okay, you pretty much ask Google to create them, and then Google creates them. Okay, they create them for you, so there's not really any copywriting or anything like that that goes into it. And so in the bigger picture here, you've got the advertisements up here, here, and here, the local service ads, the PPC, and then below here you have the search engine optimization results. You've got the Google Maps, and then you've got the Google Organic section down here. Okay, so that's what local service ads are. So why does that matter? Okay, that was a lot of information. Why in the world does that even matter? And so it matters because around 87% of consumers search Google when looking for a home service provider. Okay. And so, you've got all these competitors. You've got Yelp, you've got Angie, you've got Nextdoor, you've got all these different platforms. But what's funny is that most people, they have to go to Google in order to get to those platforms anyway. Okay. Most people don't go to yelp.com and then search for contractors in their area or a kitchen remodeler in their area. Okay, most people don't do that. They go to Google and they type in kitchen remodeler my area, bathroom remodeler my area, city, whatever. And then the Yelp results are in there. And so that's how they get to Yelp most of the time. And so people are going to Google anyway for most of their local searches, okay? And it is absolutely going to be the number one place that you are going to find your customers. Okay, when they're looking for the services that you provide, that's where they're going. Okay, and so the local service ads, like we just saw, show up first. Okay, they have priority on the Google listing. Okay, they have priority on Google. And so there's no higher intent prospect than a prospect who is actively searching for your services at that moment. Okay, there's no higher intent prospect than someone going onto Google saying, "Hey, I need a new kitchen. Where is a kitchen remodeler in my city?" Okay. And so also you need a plan to win with these. Okay, you have to have a plan of some kind. The people that don't really see a lot of success are the ones that just kind of, throw something out there and then just hope that it works. Okay, and so there's a better way to do that. All right. And so local service ads are always a great option. And so in simple terms, how do they actually work? Well, so Google, again, is providing this service. They're the ones who create these ads. They're the ones who go through and make sure that you are verified, and they're the ones who are really trying to they're like the ad provider, right? They're like the marketing expert in this case. And so what they're trying to do is they're trying to make sure that you are a legitimate business. Okay, they're going to make sure that you answer your calls. They're going to make sure you have insurance. They're going to make sure you're licensed. Okay, and some of that does have to do with legal things, for them. If they show a business who's not actually a registered business, then they could be in trouble for that, right? And so that's part of it. So Google's going to run a background check on you and your employees. Okay, so they're going to make sure that you have your license. Like I said, they're going to do a background check. They're going to ask for a lot of different things based on your industry. And so be prepared to share those. Okay. So you may have to scan some documents. You may have to do certain things like that in order to get these ads started. So business owners, you have to complete the background check. And then once approved, if you're active in your area, then you will be launching your campaign on a pay per lead basis. Okay, so that's the main difference between Google PPC ads and local service ads. Is that local service ads is on a strictly pay per lead basis. So what that means is so let's see, let's go back here. Let's go back here to Google, getting ahead of ourselves here. So let's go back to Google. So these companies right here, they are not being charged for us seeing the ads. Okay, these businesses here, they are being charged. Apologize to these businesses, but they are being charged, it's just a couple cents, but for us seeing these ads, and if we click on them, then they're going to be charged more. Local service ads, you only are charged when a call comes through. So someone clicks to call and they actually call, or if someone sends a message. Okay. So there's really no downside to local service ads. I mean, there's obviously, you can come up with downsides, but in reality, there's really not much of a risk because at the end of the month, if you say, we want to have $1,000 budget and you get no leads at all. You get no lead, something happens, something's not set up right, and you don't get any leads at all. You don't have to pay a dime. Okay. You're not paying anything because no leads came in. And so there's really no downside to having local service ads running for your business here. And so again, why should you be using local service ads? I hope this has been clear so far. There is really no downside. And so getting into some specifics here. So you set a weekly budget. So the way that you're charged for local service ads is that you set a weekly budget. You tell Google, "Hey, I want to spend this much per week." Okay, I want to spend this much per week. I want to spend, $100 a week. I want to spend $200 a week, whatever it may be. And so then Google will use that budget to get you as many leads as possible based on a few different things, based on, how much competition is in your area, the services that you're wanting to rank for, the competition in those services, and how much budget you have. So if a competitor is paying, $1,000 a month and you're paying $2,000 a month and you're going for the same services, then you are probably going to win out a little bit more because Google wants to meet that threshold, that $2,000 threshold. And so they're going to show your ad more than the competitor. Okay. And so, not to get any math involved here. We just had some storms roll in, so hopefully you maybe just saw our lights flicker here. Um, but anyway, got some math going here. And so an example of this, if you say I want to do $1,000 per month, spend on Google or Google local service ads. We're going to do $1,000 per month. And so that splits to $200 per week and about $30 per day. Okay. Now, a typical cost per lead, typical, is around $35 per month, or excuse me, per lead. So you're going to spend on average, generally, okay, this is very general. This is just for our example here. Around $35 per lead. So every time someone calls and they're a good lead, we'll get to that here in a second. If they're a good lead, then they will charge you, around $35. And so what that could look like is 28 leads per month, 5 leads per week, and maybe one lead per day. Okay, somewhere around there. So that's just kind of the general breakdown of how Google wants to meet that requirement. Okay. And so obviously you may get a different number of leads from day to day. So one day you might get 2 leads, one day you might get none. It depends on your budget again. Um, But you will never spend more than you tell Google not to spend. Okay. So if you say our budget is $500 per month, Google will make sure that they don't spend any higher. They might go a couple dollars over, but they will try to stay within your budget. Okay. And so with that being said, you have the ability to immediately dispute leads if your leads are not valid. Okay, so this is another really good thing about local service ads. So the way this works is that whenever a phone call comes in or a message, whichever one you choose, some people choose just to take phone calls, some people choose to do messaging. Um, you will get an email saying, "Hey, you just got a phone call. How was the quality of that lead?" Okay. And you have the ability to dispute it. Okay. And so Google, they want to make sure that actual people are calling your business looking for the service that you offer. Okay. They're not looking for spammers and a few different other people here. What you're seeing here, sorry, it's a little blurry. But so solicitation, spam, location, if it's a different location than the one that you serve in. So their location was not listed in your service area. That one doesn't count as well. And then obviously services that you don't offer. So if you do kitchen remodeling and someone comes in or calls in about, a roofing job, or a landscaping project or things like that, then that lead does not count. And so you can tell Google that the lead did not count. The lead was not good, and you don't offer that service, and be specific with it, and they will reimburse you. Okay, so they will reimburse you the money to continue and work with them and search with them, because at the end of the day, we talk about Google, we talk about Facebook, and how bad their platforms are, and we complain about them and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, what they're trying to do is they're trying to provide their searchers, so people who are searching on Google, the best possible results. Okay. Because if they don't provide good results, then people are going to go to other search engines. Okay. And so they also want to provide a good service for you, for the advertiser, So that way you keep advertising with them. Okay. And so, they have an automatic dispute button. Whenever people call in, you'll get an email and it will ask you, how was the quality of that lead? And that's where you have the ability to dispute that lead for any of these reasons here. Okay. So, some proof here. So typically what we're seeing here, we're seeing a lower cost per lead than Google Ads. The reason for that again is because local service ads come up first. Okay, they come up high. Um, and then also you have a higher quality of lead than Angie or Yelp typically because you have the active users, the active searchers. Okay, they have some intent behind their search, if you're targeting the right keywords and things like that. So, and then finally, it's a solid ROI for those clients that we have running them because again there's ultimately not much of a risk. Okay, obviously there might be some risk because you might not close that client, and that's a discussion for a different day. um, but you're still getting high quality leads that are coming in for a relatively low cost, because again on PPC, if you remember our discussion then for our PPC um, our PPC masterclass that we went over last week, you know, um, you could have a budget of $100 and get or of $500 per month, $1,000 per month, and then get no leads from that. Okay, and that is possible. But with local service ads, if you don't get any leads, then you don't pay anything. So it's really, really good. So why are they a no-brainer? So you're showing up at the top. You only pay per lead. It's a lower cost. And also you have the ability to modify your budget based on schedule. Okay, so you can increase it or decrease it as needed. It's a very easy platform. Okay, we're not really going to go into how to set them up because it's extremely easy. Okay, Google has a very easy way to do it. Well, I say that, but and then we get into a problem of or the section labeled how to set them up. But really, all you have to do is just go to Google and then just type in local service ads into the search bar, and then it's the first link, and then you just follow the prompts. And so I've got it pulled up here. And so whenever you type in local service ads into the search bar and click on the first link, it will bring you here, okay, where you can sign in if you have a local service ads account, or you can click get started. And so this is a good, this is where it starts. If you have to sign in, you just put in your name and your email and a couple of other things, and then it will create a profile for you. Um, or excuse me, if you type in get started, that's what you'll do. If you do sign in, it'll pull up the different campaigns that you manage. And so then you just follow the prompts. Now, one thing here that a lot of people don't know about, if you come to this page, just the regular local service ads page, and you scroll to the bottom of the page here, or kind of midway to the bottom, you have this calculator here. And so this calculator is a tool that you can use when coming up with your budget. And so what you're going to do is you just follow the prompts here and you just enter your postal code. So I'm going to just do my postal code just to make it easy. And then how many leads do you want per month? And so remodeling contractors, you typically don't need a lot of leads. And, let's just say for this example, we have Google Ads running as well, and they're providing us, 15 to 20 leads a month. So we're just going to say 10 leads per month. And what industry are we in? Now, there's not going to be a specific yet of remodeling here at the front. So you can scroll down here. You get roofer, but you don't get remodeling. So general contractor will be sufficient. So general contractor, and you're just going to type in estimate budget. And so this is an estimate of what your budget needs to be in order to get that amount of leads per month. Okay. And so then if we say we want, 25 leads, then obviously it's going to increase. Okay. And so it just kind of gives you a good idea of where, where your budget is going to be in setting up the local service ads. Okay. And so then another tip here is that this phone number, Google, trust me, I know this. Google is notorious for having terrible um, customer service. If you have a problem with your Google business profile, it's it's going to take you a long time to get it straightened out. Trust me, I know that firsthand. But if you call this number, someone will pick up, and they are generally, from what I've seen, very good at helping you get started and answering any questions about your local service ads. And so call this number if you need help in getting started and signing up here. And then just follow the prompts. I'm not going to do it right now. Because I feel like this webinar is going to be long enough. But just click get started, and it's going to take you through and just tell you exactly what you need to do to get started here. All right. So now jumping back over here. So how does the ranking work? Okay, so we talked about why Google local service ads are good. We talked about how to set them up. We've talked a little bit about why you should be doing it and things like that. But so now let's talk about some of the specifics. And so the ranking works for these local service ads again for a few different reasons, but again they one business has to rank higher than another. Okay. Google is a listing platform. There is a list. And so they're not going to be equal. Someone has to be first. Okay. And so there are ranking factors that go into your local service ads, just like with SEO, just like with PPC campaigns, same thing with local service ads. It's not quite as simple as just, hey, sign these up or sign up for these local service ads, and then Google's going to put you at the top. That's not necessarily the case. All right. So number one, your proximity to the customer. Okay. So your customer, wherever they are located, if they're close to you, then you have a higher chance of ranking closer to the top. Okay. So it's important that you put an accurate address in there. Your review score and the number of reviews that you have. Okay, so the number, so this is on your Google business profile. Okay, so your Google reviews that you're getting. So your review score, 4 to 5 stars, and then how many reviews that you have, believe it or not, does play a big role in whether or not you are getting ranked or not. And then on top of that, it also just helps with people who come in. The more reviews a business has, the more comfortable people are. They see it as more authority, and so getting reviews is absolutely crucial across the board, whether it's SEO, whether it's your website, whether it's Google ads, local service ads, reviews are the most important thing that you can do for your business. Okay. If you could do one thing that would, people come to me and they say, what can I do to get better rankings? What can I do to have better performing ads? What can I do to, just have a better online footprint? Get reviews, reply to those reviews, and then get them on a consistent basis. That is number one. All right. So your business hours too. So if someone calls in at 7 a.m., but your business hours don't open until 8, that could have an effect on it too. Whether or not you've received serious complaints from your customers, again, because Google's trying to show the most relevant results possible, and so they want to show the businesses that are ranking high and that have good scores, right? And then so lastly, and another thing that's very important is obviously going to be your budget. Okay, so for example, going back to our example that we talked about earlier with the $200 per week, and so if your budget is at $200 a week and that's getting you 5 leads, and you've already gotten those leads for that week, so you've already gotten 5 leads and it's, Thursday, then your ad is not going to show up. Okay. Your ad's not going to show up on Friday. Okay. Because your budget's already been maxed out. It's already been used up. Okay. And so that's kind of that might be a downside. Some people might consider that to be a downside, but then at the same time, if you want more leads, then just increase the budget. Okay? Increase the budget and Google will start to show your ad more in order to get those leads. And so really two most important things here. The two most important things is having a dialed in budget and getting reviews. Okay. And so I know that you might not want to hear that because getting reviews is difficult sometimes, especially for remodelers who aren't really doing a lot of projects. But you just got to suck it up and do it. There's no way around it. There is no way around it. So, how do you actually win with the local service ads? So, you've got to dial in your service area, your profile, your Google business profile, and your budget. Okay, so dial in your service area. What I mean by that is when you come to the time when it's time to select your cities, your locations that you want to rank in, make sure you are broad enough to get a large amount of lead flow. If you live in a rural area and there might just not, and you're not getting leads, there might just not be enough people who are searching for your services. Okay. But at the same time, you want to make sure that you spread out your service area so you're encompassing everybody that could be showing up for you. And most businesses, most remodelers serve a pretty wide area, and so that shouldn't be a problem. But just make sure that they're accurate and make sure that you have them all listed. Okay. So and then another important thing is mark your jobs as booked here. Oops. Mark your jobs as booked. That means they're finished. Okay. That means you got the lead in and then they scheduled with you. So they're booked. Okay. For obviously just for the ones that do book with you. And so what that means is, when leads come in, Google puts them in a few different categories. There's active, there's booked, there's completed, and so Google will put them into on your dashboard. They'll put them into one of these categories here. And so basically what that means is that, hey, they're active, so you're still speaking with them. Booked, that means they booked on your calendar, and then completed means not necessarily that they're a sale, but they're just done. They're booked and they're saved, archived or whatever. So, but your job is to make sure that they are marked as booked. The ones that do book, make sure you mark them as booked. And so that's signaling to Google that you are getting good leads. Okay. And that's signaling to them that you are reaching out to those leads and completing the project for those leads, or at least getting the ball rolling for them. Okay. And so again, that just kind of signifies to Google, signals to them that, you are actively working on these leads. You're not just answering the phone and then just forgetting about them. Okay. And so then watch the disputes. Okay. So try to make sure that you're disputing accurately. Okay. Don't just, say, well, this person, they wanted they wanted a kitchen remodel for, $20,000, but my requirement is 30,000 and up. That might not fly. Okay. If it's a spammer, if it's someone who's asking for something you don't do, yes, dispute it. But some people, I've heard some cases where some people they don't dispute any leads unless it's spammers. They dispute the spammers, but anybody who's a genuine person looking for that service, they don't dispute it because they think that it might have something to do with, the performance of their ads. And so there may be something to that, but there's no studies done on that or anything that I'm aware of. And so finally, drive verified reviews, try to get as many reviews as you can. It's so important. And then try to target an 85% booking rate. So try to get as many booked as possible, right? But if you're getting 10 leads, try and make sure that 8 of them you mark as booked, okay? And so just again, just do everything that you're supposed to be doing. People are calling in, answer the phone, follow them, make sure they're booked, come in, mark them as booked. If it's a spammer, dispute it, get the money back. Just do everything that Google requires you to do. Get reviews. Okay. Again, get reviews, get reviews, get reviews. So then, another thing that does play into it is dialing in your Google business profile. Okay. So what that means is staying up to date with your ad schedule. Okay, so making sure that you understand, your the advertising schedule on the local service ads themselves. Set up your business bio. Make sure that your services and your job types are accurate, right? Now, something that a lot of remodelers do and they have a tendency to do on their Google business profile is they have all of the services that they provide listed, and when they don't necessarily do those. Okay, so for example, so like, you know, epoxy flooring. Okay, so epoxying, basement floors. They don't necessarily do that. I mean, they offer it and it's a part of a basement remodeling job, but someone who calls their business and says, "Hey, can you come epoxy my basement floor?" they're going to say no, right? And so, make sure that your job types are focused around remodeling. So kitchen remodeling, bathroom remodeling, home remodeling, restoration, renovation, and those types of jobs are your focus. Make sure your service areas are good and accurate. Excuse me, make sure your business hours are accurate and make sure that you add photos to your profile. So just do again, just excuse me, do all of the right things that you're supposed to be doing anyway. All right. So again, we're going to make sure that your jobs are marked as booked. Okay. So Google will rate your responses by how well you complete your jobs. And so if you go through and make sure that your jobs are booked slash scheduled, then they will start to, give you more leads and, they'll, because even if you do, I should go back and say, even if you do tell Google, hey, I want 10 leads per week, or per month rather, that doesn't mean that you're going to get 10 leads per month. Okay. That just means that's your limit. Okay. You're going to get no more than 10 leads per month. All right. And so by marking them as booked or scheduled, by doing those things, you are going to be making sure that you tell Google that these are good leads, send us more. Okay. So that's ultimately what we're trying to do here. All right. So again, dealing with disputes, you will not be charged for your disqualified leads. Okay. So again, this is kind of a summary here. Outside your area, not your service provider, spammers, automatic disputing. So we have automatic disputing now. So it's a lot easier of a process than it used to be, a few months ago. And so they're just making it easier for everybody. Excuse me. Had to sneeze there. So now how do you increase your lead flow? So we've got everything. We know what to do now. So how do you increase it? Well, the biggest thing is going to be increasing your budget. Okay, again, your budget is really going to determine how many leads you are going to get. All right. But also on top of that, expanding your service areas, expanding your job types, your schedule, your business hours, just kind of opening it up a little bit to try and capture more leads coming in, more people searching for those jobs. So, this is pretty, expanding your job type. That might not be something for most remodelers because most remodelers, they like to stick to bathrooms, kitchens, home additions, decks, like only if that's something that you're open to. So I would say, if you're looking to get more of a specific job type, if you're looking for just kitchens and you start out your local service ads with just trying to get kitchen remodeling jobs, but you want some more leads, then that would be time to add in bathrooms or the additional services that you guys provide. So then make sure you close out every lead. Okay. We've already talked about that. And so in conclusion here, your local service ads need to be a part of a bigger marketing plan. Okay. So local service ads work and they're great and we recommend them and we think that you should use them, but they should fall under a larger overall marketing plan. Okay. Businesses that just say, well, we're going to throw out 500 here, 500 here, 1,000 here, and just going to try to see what works. The people who do that, it's very difficult to get momentum that's effective in your business as a whole based off of, just trying your hand in a couple of different areas. Okay, so again, you never want to have all of your eggs in one basket. You want to make sure that you're doing everything in your ability to grow your authority, to nurture the leads that you're getting in, to educate them about who you are and about your business, and bring in as many leads as you're comfortable with, that you're okay with. All right. So that's why we have this whole plan here that I went over earlier. We have the authority side of things with your SEO, with your social media, your website, and those different things. We have the lead generation that we talk about. Okay, so the Google local service ads, the SEO, the regular PPC campaigns, and then we have the lead preparation. How do we prepare them for the sale? Okay, how do we prepare them and educate them about your company? So that's where all of this comes in. Okay, the long-term lead nurture, the next step resources. And so we have a full plan dedicated to home remodeling contractors and how to help them actually effectively grow their business. Okay. And so that is it. That is Google local service ads. Again, there's not much on the technical side of how to get them set up because again, you're not really Google is setting them up for you. They're setting them up on your behalf, essentially, right? And so again, thank you for joining. And if you need help with this, if you need help with local service ads, or if you need help understanding anything or Google ads, or just understanding how it all works, then give me a call at this number, send me an email, or visit my website. There's a few good resources on there. You can download or you can request a copy of my book, and we'll send it out to you. This one behind me here. You can grab a copy of it on my website where we go over a lot of different marketing secrets here for remodeling contractors. And so grab a copy of that, and we will see you next month for our next topic, which I haven't decided yet, but stay tuned for that. So thank you again. My name is Brooks Burnett from Remodel Reach Marketing, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you.